We've got this great fun fold that really showcases your designer series paper, and it's actually really so easy to make. Hi everyone, welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca. I'm so glad that you're here. We are making just the super cool fun fold. You're going to be able to really adjust this design to make it for the holidays or make it for spring or whatever. It's just great if you've got a nice big focal point that you want to put on your card and then pretty papers that you want to show off. All the measurements are on my blog post, and I'll link that into the in the description of the video. And then I emailed out the free project sheet this morning, so make sure you're on my email list so you get that. All right, let's get started. For this card design, you're going to want a nice big bold image for the front of the card. I'm going to be using this Autumn Trees stamp set, and we're going to stamp this tree. You're only going to need one color of ink for this whole card. We're just going to use Early Espresso. So I'm going to use that same ink just for this tree. Just let it sit on there for a couple seconds, so that the ink really soaks into your paper. Now, this stamp set also comes as a bundle, and so I'm going to be showing you later. I have another example of cutting out the tree out of cardstock. So I've got that tip for using multiple colors in one die cut. But look at all these really cool elements you get in this die set. So whether you're going to use the stamp or the bundle, this one is great. Now, this stamp set does not have any words, so I'm just pairing it with Simply Said. This, if you don't have a stamp set that's like just words, this one is so versatile. You've got your thinking of you, your happy birthday, your miss you, and birthday things. So this is just so versatile. So go ahead and grab a sentiment. I'm going to make this a thank you card and just stamp it on a little scrap of paper. This one is a 1/2 inch wide because I want to use this Happy Labels little punch. Now, if you don't have this punch, don't worry about it. You can just put it on your card just like this with it uncut. But I think it looks super cool with this little edge on it. So then you're just going to slide it in here. And when you're using these punches, I like to turn them around so that I can see my paper coming through the back side there, so I can make sure that it is bumped up. Here, let me show you. So it's bumped up on there straight, not like crooked, because sometimes you can do it crooked. So I like to bump it straight up against the back and then punch it. And now I'll show you, look how tiny that is. This is really way too hard to get in and out of the punch like that. So I've got a tip. I always have Post-it notes around. I use them for everything. Just take a Post-it note and peel off a little strip and stick it onto the back. Well, I want it this way so that I can punch this side. Stick it onto your thing. This makes it so much longer, so then you have more maneuverability. So anytime you have a little piece of paper that needs to be punched, that is just giving you trouble, just add a little Post-it note on it. It makes it bigger. And now we've got our sentiment for the front. Now, while we have all our stamps out, let's just go ahead and stamp the inside of our card. We just need a little strip here. And I'm going to use this from that set, just a note. And then this Autumn Trees stamp set has 2 different rock sections or whatever, so I'm going to use those. But look at these other things that look so cool. But I'm going to use this, and I wanted to show you, if you stamp this kind of off and to the left, and then stamp this next one kind of up higher and off to the right, it kind of looks like a little pathway going through there. I think that looks so cool. I completely did that on accident the first time, and I'm like, wow, I like that. Don't you love it when that happens? You're like, wow, I'm amazing. And that just happened by accident. So now you can leave these uncolored if you don't have any colors, but I am going to use Stampin' Blends markers. These are alcohol markers that just give an amazing deep color. They come in a pack of 2, one light and one dark, so you can really get a lot of dimension with your coloring. I do not love coloring because I'm just kind of a quick crafter. I like to get it in and get it done really simply. But these make coloring to me so much fun. They has this this kind of painter's tip and then a bullet tip on this side. This painter's tip is really quick, so I usually use that, but for little details, I'll flip it around and do the more narrow things with this bullet tip. Now I'm just doing the light pecan pie kind of everywhere that there's a stem, but you know what? I am not even getting all of these. I'm just kind of just not even really caring too much about it. If it gets not on the branch, it turns out totally fine. Then grab the dark and then just go back through and just add some dark streaks here and there, wherever the artist has the streaks or wherever you think there would be a shadow. Now I'm going to take the Mossy Meadow pack and I'm going to start with the light and do that everywhere. If you accidentally go over some of the brown branches, it just really is not that big of a deal. Once you've got all that green in there, you might have noticed where you missed the branches. So just kind of go back through. That's what happened to me. I'm like, wait a minute, that's a branch right there. And then go back with the dark. And everywhere where there are these dark places that the artist put some darkness, that's where you put yours too. You just don't even have to really think about it. And don't have to be even that careful. I'm just kind of going all around here. And then to smooth that out, go back with your light and just kind of go round and round, making it nice and creamy. But then you'll want to wait for it to develop. It'll what might look splotchy now won't look splotchy later when those the alcohol kind of sinks into the paper and the colors develop. So that didn't take very long, and it sure was relaxing. So go ahead and cut it out with scissors if you don't have the dies, or if you have the dies, go ahead and cut that out. Now for this inside, this is really easy. I'm gonna use the light. I always have to check. No, that's the dark. Here's the light. I'm gonna color in these rocks here. Now these colors here are, with all the example cards that I have to show you, these are the only colors that I used. Now go back with the dark, and just where that artist has lines, that's where I do it. I just really don't try to figure it out on my own because I am not an artist. And then I'll go back through with the light to just smooth it out a little. Then we'll add some green where these little green things are. Green things. It's probably grass, Julie. There, that's just a little subtle color, but looks so good. Now the other way to do this focal point is with the die set, but let me show you how to do that. When you want to get two colors out of one die set, you need to cut it twice, one out of each color. So my base is going to be, the trunk is going to be brown, so I'm going to cut it out of this pecan pie. So you can see that this die set is two pieces, one that cuts it out and then one that leaves all the texture. And then if these don't come out right away, you can take your fingernail, a toothpick, or take your pick tool to get all these little pieces out. To take your pick tool, you can get this attachment for it that you just kind of run over and it gets all the little pieces out. Now, this is all brown, obviously, but I want the leaves to be green. So I'm going to cut out another whole die out of here, out of Mossy Meadow for the top. So now we've got our two colors, but what I'm going to do is just add a little bit extra on here. Sometimes, especially because this is such a large die cut, I like to add a little bit of dimension. I'm just going over these spots. It looks horrible, but wait, wait, it's gonna look good, I promise. And I'm gonna go along the edge here with my Stampin' Blends marker. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this trunk here, just adding a little bit of color. Oh, I see I missed a couple little spots, so I'm just going to poke these out with my Take Your Pick tool. Okay, now, so these are going to be layered on top of each other. So what you want to do is wherever you want brown to show, you're going to cut that out of your green piece. So wherever there is going to be the trunk, I am going to cut that out. Wait a minute, let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to cut right here. I'm going to cut this big trunk out first. Like that. And then I'm going to go back through and I'm going to cut out these little tiny branches out of this section. So now once you have these sections cut out, you can glue this right on top here and look at that amazing, it looks so 3D. So this is another option for that front focal point. So now you can see this would be the colored one, and then if you were going to layer this on top, this is what that would look like. And I've got some examples to show you at the end, but let's do this card base. So the card base consists of a cardstock base for the back, although you could have it open if you want some more room to write. And then this top layer, which is your fun fold mechanism. So for each of those panels on that card, you'll want to use some pretty paper. This is the Autumn tool. I love these textures, and then these deep autumn colors are just gorgeous. But this design can obviously be used with your favorite paper. So for this card base, then we're just going to add this piece of designer series paper right in the back here. Now on the project sheet, this got emailed out on Friday morning. I've got two sets of measurements. One like this with this 1/4 inch margin, but then I also gave you another set of measurements for an 1/8 of an inch margin if you want a little more designer series paper to show, and I've got examples to show you on that. Now we're going to do the fun fold mechanism, and you can do this in your paper trimmer, but when I want to make nice deep creases, I do like to use the scoreboard. I also like to use the scoreboard when I have multiple scoring to make. It's actually really faster. And then it comes with these markers. So if you're going to be making like a lot, like let's say you're going to turn this into a Christmas card and you're making like 40 of these, you've got the measurements right here. You don't even have to measure each time. You just bang, bang, bang right on the markers. Now I've got the measurements for this fun fold and everything over on my blog post, sunnydaystamping.com, but all the information is on this printable project sheet with these card making tips to make this easy. If you're not on my email list, there's a link in the description of this video where you can sign up. And then this project sheet will be in the welcome email for the whole week after this video. After that, it goes to my tutorial store. So now for this fun fold section, we're going to want to fold all these lines and really crease them down. Use a piece of scratch paper on top of your cardstock so that it doesn't leave that shiny mark. But you really want to squish these down nice and good so that it doesn't puff up too much. It's not going to lay completely flat because it is a fun fold card, but we want it to be as flat as possible. So it doesn't really matter which way you are folding those when you're scoring them, it doesn't really matter. So now that you can see all those lines, now is a great time to put on the designer series paper. So you're going to need that one piece for the back of your card, and then you're going to need 4 strips. These two are the same. We'll put them right here. And then these two are the same. We'll put them right there. And I cut these wrong. I will be back. They're too long. And then the last piece is to put the inside of your card in there. So go ahead and glue all of this in place. If you're watching and it is October 2025, Stampin' Up! Has a great join bonus going on this month only. So they've got the regular starter kit deal, but then they've added some extra stuff. So if you have ever thought about joining, this is the month to do it. If you are someone who loves a discount, this is the month to join. If you just want a bunch of supplies and you don't want to have to sell anything, but you want your stuff at a discount, join with me. I'd love to have you. So now this is it. The fun fold part is done. Isn't that so easy? Now, this is the tip for adhering this, because we've got to only put glue just on this back section because we don't want to glue down these other pieces. And if I just put glue on there and put it on there, I know myself, I'm gonna get glue everywhere. So fold this puppy up, and just so that you're just putting glue on that section, keep it folded when you add it to that card base. I put quite a bit on there so so it sticks. And then just kind of keep it folded up and then center it right in the center of your card. I got to put this over my head so I can see. Sorry, I totally put my head in there, but I had to. And then just kind of wait there a second, make sure that it's going to stick, and then open it all the way up, flip it over, find your bone folder wherever it is, and then just really press this down so that that really adheres well. And now that we had that flipped over, I realized we didn't put a little stamp on the back here. Now, if you wanted extra place to write, you could cut yourself a piece of cardstock for the back, or just put a great little stamp on the back. Yeah, that's what it needed. But you just need that little something back there, I think. Now decide which focal point you're going to use. I'm just going to use this one. And what you want to do is fold this up and put it on here without adding any glue, and decide where you're going to put the glue, because you don't want to put glue all over it, because then you're not going to be able to open your card. So ask me how I know this. Okay, and then so really I want it just on this side here. So I know I'm going to just put glue here along the edge of that trunk and right there. Then close this up, center it, and then hold that down a sec to make sure it is nice and stuck. Now we'll add our sentiment, and we have to be careful the same thing, not to put glue underneath here and glue this shut. And actually I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals, but I'm going to make sure to put them just on this left side. Then we'll just peel these off. Close this up just so your focal point is centered before you decide where you want to put it. I kind of liked it up here, kind of going off of this side here. Did I put that on crooked? I think I did. There we go. Now add just a little bit of ribbon. This is the old olive and early espresso linen thread. This is in the new mini catalog. I love it. It is so easy to tie. Now, if you were wanting things out of that catalog or any of the online exclusives, man, Stampin' Up's pumping out new products like every single month. It's crazy. But anyway, I've got free gifts for people who order through me in October. It is with a $75 order. It's the Love and Courage video series. I team up with 15 other demonstrators to bring that. And my new card making class, it's called Techniques, Template, and Fun Fold. I do it with Jackie and Heidi, and that is just a freebie for our teens, but also a freebie if you spend $50 with me in the month of October. You'll get that tutorial too. Now I'm just going to attach that little linen thread with a glue dot. So you can attach it here, or I kind of like it like on the trunk here. I don't know. It just kind of depends. This card is so perfect for like anyone. Even such a fall card, but also great for a masculine card. Okay, we have to do one more thing. We're just gonna make a quick matching envelope. Like I had to leave myself a note for that. That's so funny. So grab your piece of scrap and grab your label maker and just put this in here. We're just gonna punch both ends just to make it look pretty. I learned this trick from Rebecca, and I think of her every time I do it. Thank you, Rebecca. She sent me a card one time with this as her like seal on the envelope. I thought it was brilliant. Now what you do though is only put glue on one top half of that, and put it right down to seal the envelope, but don't seal it. On this side, then you're gonna add some tear and tape, unless you're gonna send this right away. But if you're not gonna send it right away, put yourself some tape on here so when you go to use it, you don't have to go look for your tape. It's already on here. So when you go to send it, you're gonna lick here and peel this off and be able to seal your envelope. Perfect matching set. All right, this is what the card looks like with that two colored die cut. So it's just a different, totally different vibe, different look. I love it. And the other thing is I want to show you, these were the different measurements I was talking about. This one has a 1/4 inch measurement, so you can see more of the card base, whereas this one has an 1/8 of an inch, so you can see more of the designer series paper. So I've got both measurements for that for you. I just love this designer series paper, so I made a ton of these. Oh, these are the die cuts out of that set. I thought that was so neat, but this is all that same designer series paper. Here are the trees in Cajun Craze. This one is obviously colored with markers. And then this one is the pecan pie and the Cajun Craze on that tree. And then lastly, I colored this tree in mostly with Daffodil Delight and then used the other colors, Cajun Craze, Mossy Meadow, to add just some fall colors to that tree. And of course, here's another matching envelope. I hope this inspires you to send some love in the mail this fall. If you love phone folds, I've got a new card making class. I got together with two of my demonstrator friends and we created this class called Techniques, Templates, and Fun Folds. So we've got a new one each month. It's our freebie if you spend $50 with me in the month of September in Stampin' Up. But I also give it to free for my team members. Now in October, there is the best starter kit deal ever. So if you've ever toyed with the idea of joining, I would love to have you on my team. Even if you've never toyed with it, this starter kit is crazy. Pick $120 in products and pay only $35. So if you're planning on placing an order, it's actually better to get the starter kit because you're gonna get free shipping on that. Anyway, I've got more information on my blog or just reach out. I'm happy to help. Thanks so much for watching. Have a sunny day.